Welcome back to The Takeout. Here is a look at some of the other stories we're watching this evening. Missouri voters will get to decide again on abortion issues. In 2024, you might recall voters approved a ballot measure to enshrine abortion rights in the state constitution, doing so by a margin of 3 percentage points. Now, Republican lawmakers are again putting an abortion ban referendum to the voters. As I just mentioned with the RNC chairman Michael Wiley, Elon Musk bowing out at Doge and returning to his companies. He's pledged to focus on them, quote, 24/7. Musk is expected to speak at the SpaceX facility in Texas tonight after the Starship Flight 9 launch. And I am sure you have seen this video. And if you haven't seen this video, your phone must have been off this holiday weekend. France's president pushed in the face by his wife as the couple landed in Vietnam. Emmanuel Macron says the shove was just a joke and not a domestic dispute. Ed O'Keefe, Caitlin Huey-Burns are back with me, plus my colleagues Crawford and Camilo Montoya-Galvez. I mentioned as we open the show there will sometimes be food. So I think it's appropriate if we're going to talk about Emmanuel Macron to have at the family table.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Well done.
Macaron. So, Ed O'Keefe, I know you are chomping at the bit to get involved in this conversation.
Well, I'll take
carry
the
on.
green one. But see, I saw that, and you're married?
Yes, twice.
You're married?
But who's counting?
Yeah, I mean, I'm married.
No shoving was involved.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And not in mine either. Not in mine either. But I saw that and I thought, like, in some way, every husband and wife has been there.
Oh, no.
But in some kind of an argument where...
Jan, please.
Okay, Ed, what's going on?
I can't say I've never been shoved like that, but I'm sure she's wanted to.
Not yet.
And the other thing is, like, we've all been around political couples. You know that the staff shields this stuff from reporters as much as possible.
That's why we're talking about it, because it wasn't shielded. It was a moment where Macron instantly recognizes that what's just happened has been captured, and he has got to find a way visually to immediately begin to repair the damage.
It was such a moment of a politician, right?
Yeah, like, I won't be the only one eating.
Oh, no, I'm on... immediate. I mean, it was very talented in that regard to immediately flip over and say, "Oh wait, okay."
Almost as if they don't have kids, but it was almost as if like the kids had caught a disagreement between mom. Again, my marriage is in great shape. This has never happened to me. But I just saw it and I thought, oh.
Jan, your perspective, please.
No, I mean, I think it was quite unusual behavior as someone who has been married and now divorced, sadly, twice. That would never have happened, and obviously my marriage didn't work. So, but shoving, I mean, in the face, and I agree with Caitlin, I mean, the recovery was impressive. That was the most impressive.
Except the part where they go down the stairs, and he has his arm out, and she is looking at that arm as if it belongs to some sort of monster next to her.
Okay, I think that anyone that's been...
Yeah, let's run...
I can relate to that.
We should be looping this video, folks. We should just be looping this 20 seconds.
No, I mean, we can relate to, like, okay, get away from me. I just really can't deal with you right now. That's very different than a hand in the face in front of, other people that were around.
I want to ask you about Harvard.
Okay.
And the president, and what seems to be not only a confrontation over money, but a confrontation over the limits, such as they are, of presidential power, trying to punish Harvard.
Yeah, I mean, Harvard is being retaliated against because they're fighting. They didn't capitulate to his demands to change their curriculum.
Filed a lawsuit.
That's right. And so, I mean, I think the latest moves, especially saying that you can enroll international students, 27% of their student body.
And just as a reminder, international students.
27.
Yes.
Columbia is almost 50.
Pay the highest rate of tuition, which is why it is meaningful to every institution, private or public.
But, I mean, they've sued, and I think that they've clearly got a retaliation claim.
Harvard does.
Absolutely. It's
selective
First Amendment. Yeah, I mean, they're not doing this against any other school. And obviously, Harvard has serious problems that they have failed to address, including, not coming to grips with the rampant anti-Semitism that has threatened Jewish students on that campus as at other campuses. So clearly, they have work to do. But this move by Trump to try to punish them in any number of ways, I think is they're going to win that lawsuit.
Let me get to Camilo real quick, Ed. Camilo, very quickly, because I know I want to get to your other reporting in the immigration space, but this interview process that the Trump administration announced today, suspending interviews for future, prospective
International students,
Yes.
that's right. The State Department announced that they will be halting for the time being interviews, in-person interviews for the international students who are looking to come here to the U.S. to study. So this will affect prospective students who want to study here in American colleges. And this is being justified by the administration on the grounds that they need to enhance and take a more aggressive approach towards screening the social media accounts of students. And this is part of an immigration crackdown that has affected the entire sprawling immigration system. The administration is looking for different reasons to deny entry to more foreigners into the country, and this is one of those efforts.
And Camilo, you also have new reporting on efforts undertaken by the Trump administration to go to courts where undocumented persons are appearing as requested for a hearing, and then what happens?
This is the latest escalation in the administration's efforts to carry out what the president has said will be the largest deportation operation in American history. ICE is conducting an operation that is still ongoing, targeting migrants who are attending their immigration court hearings. ICE prosecutors across the country are telling immigration judges, you should dismiss the cases of certain migrants just so our agents outside of these courthouses can arrest them and place them in a more fast-tracked deportation process that bypasses the immigration court system entirely. So this allows the administration to deport these people without the due process protections that are guaranteed in immigration court. And it's affecting cities across the country, including Miami, San Francisco, New York, D.C., and lawyers are having a tough time telling their clients what to do in this case because in some ways it is a catch-22. If you go to court, there's a possibility you could face arrest, and if you don't go to court, you could be ordered deported by an immigration judge because missing a hearing is grounds for deportation.
Ed O'Keefe, any sense at the White House that there is any potential political blowback from this maximalist application of available immigration laws?
I'm going to answer that, but I reserve the right to ask a question.
Oh, yeah, please, go right ahead.
So far...
But you don't get another Macron.
We've moved on from the French.
Good.
In so many ways. But those are good, and you should all be eating them. So far, no.
Right.
Because if you continue to look at public opinion on the president, what's the one issue that he remains
Continues
strongest
to
on?
buoy him.
Border security, immigration. Right. And even people who don't like him will stop and tell you. But I do like the fact that he has closed the borders and that he's trying to clean up a chronic problem that has crossed presidencies. I just want to walk back to Harvard, though, real quick, because I can hear friends and family asking this question specific to Harvard. How many justices graduated from Harvard in one way or another? Not to put you on the spot.
No, I mean, I can't come off the top of my head.
Would they have grounds? Would they have grounds to recuse themselves?
More than two, I'm going to guess.
Would they have grounds to recuse themselves?
I'll take the over on two.
Well, that's a really interesting question because certainly in the affirmative action case, we saw Justice recuse herself. So, you know, potentially, but I don't think so. I don't think so.
That's just
because otherwise, I don't know. I'm going to say no on that. But again, the justices, we don't know why they recuse themselves in cases. We can assume things. They don't tell us why they're recusing. That's up to them. And it's a strong policy at the court not to recuse unless it's absolutely...
Unless there's really no other choice.
Right, because look what happens. Right. You get 4-4 ties like we got in that major religion case last week.
Caitlin?
Well, going back to the immigration component, I think something that is bolstering the president in some ways is the fact that Democrats have kind of struggled with how to respond, right? I mean, Democrats have been going down to El Salvador. Another one, a Maryland congressman just today went down there. And it's very difficult to explain to people due process for those who are not here legally, right? It's a very difficult message to portray for people to understand. So that's what Trump has always been good at, is just the basic messaging around this issue that gets people to respond. So even if he's going overboard, the pushback is lacking.
Before we go, I want to ask your opinion about, or your sense, not your opinion, your sense of Missouri putting the abortion issue back on the ballot.
I mean, this is so fascinating.
It was
because
settled. Well, not settled, but there was a vote. It was statewide.
6 months ago, Missouri was one of 6-7 states that had a referendum on the ballot codifying abortion rights into their state constitution. Then however months later, the state Republicans have now put a referendum up, or will, likely in the next midterm, but could be sooner, to essentially reverse that.
So you got it wrong.
tell voters. So, and you mentioned this 3-point difference in the. So it'd be interesting to see who shows up for that.
Ed O'Keefe, Caitlin Huey-Burns, Jan Crawford, Camilo Montoya-Galvez, and our macarons. Thank you very much. Predicting the future. Predicting.